Very good morning to everyone. This is the chapter we will be starting today, accounting and statutory requirements of cooperative societies. So here in this chapter we will learn about the final accounts prepared by cooperative societies. Firstly, let us understand about something about cooperative societies. So let's start with the introduction. Cooperative societies is a type of organization doing which is growing, whose importance is growing in this present time next to the corporate sector in the Indian economic scene. Cooperative society is a collective effort of large number of people operating in various fields of activities, such as we have cooperative sugar factories, spinning and weaving mills, cooperative credit societies, cooperative housing societies, industrial cooperative societies, housing societies, and so on. So there are several types of cooperative societies functioning in the country, in the state. So we would be studying we would be discussing, in this chapter, you have three varieties of cooperative societies, which we will be studying in detail in the present chapter. And the accounting procedures and final account formats differ from state to state, as each state in India has its own cooperative act. So see, the cooperative societies are controlled by the state government. The cooperative societies are controlled by the state government. Therefore, the format and the accounting procedure may differ from state to state. So, for the cooperative societies, because we are in Maharashtra, we have the Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1930. तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे? We will be following the accounting norms and procedures as per the Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960. And we also have the Maharashtra State Cooperative Societies Rules 1961. तो 1961 के हिसाब से act was formed in the year 1960, and the rules was formed in the next year 1961. Accordingly, we will be following the final account formats and the accounting procedures. 1 minute, I hope I hope this is visible to you. If not, just see, the slide is visible to you. Now the next slide is Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act. As I told you, in Maharashtra, we will be concentrate, like Maharashtra has its different rules and regulations, accounting procedures for and formats for the cooperative societies. So, as we are based in Maharashtra, we will be following the Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960 and Maharashtra State Cooperative Societies Rules 1961. So, firstly, let us see under the Act what is the definition for cooperative societies. तो cooperative societies का definition as per the act क्या है? Under section 2 subsection 27 of the act, society means a cooperative society. Society means a cooperative society registered or deemed to be registered under this act. Means the society has to be registered under this act, or it we assume, or it has to be registered, deemed to be registered under this act, which is an autonomous association, means the voluntary association of persons united voluntarily to meet their common needs and aspirations through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise. So here, this is cooperative society is an association of people is a society. Firstly, cooperative society is a society which is registered under the cooperative Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act, which is an association of persons, autonomous associate group. Association matlab kya? Group. So it is a voluntary group, autonomous group of persons, which according the group of persons who united voluntarily, who have come together voluntarily without any force to meet their common needs, so that their needs are fulfilled and their needs and aspirations are fulfilled uh, through a joint. See, this is the cooperative society is owned jointly and democratically, freely controlled enterprise, and this has to follow to the cooperative principles and values. So the cooperative society is registered under the Cooperative Societies Act. It is an association of persons, autonomous group of persons who have voluntarily joined to united together so that their needs and aspirations are fulfilled, met. Needs and aspirations are met through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise, and the cooperative societies has to follow the cooperative principles and values. And there is an amendment in this act which has to be considered, which amendment had taken during the Amendment Act 2013. And cooperative society is is a body distinct from its member, and the section 167 of the Cooperative Societies Act state that the provisions of Companies Act are not applicable to the cooperatives. मतलब जो कंपनीज एक्ट है, जो भी ना 2013 को फिर से अमेंड हुआ है, लेकिन उस दोस एक्ट आर सेपरेट, दोस आर नॉट रिलेटेड टू कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज. हम कंपनीज एक्ट को यहाँ पे अप्लाई नहीं कर सकते. वी कैन नॉट अप्लाई द कंपनीज एक्ट rules here, because the cooperative societies are separately governed by the Cooperative Societies Act and not by the Companies Act. Companies Act is separate, Cooperative Societies Act is separate. So accordingly, the cooperative society have to act as per the rules, as per the act, as per the both the amendment and the actual act in the 1960, in the year 1960. So next, let us come to the next let us see some of the terms which we have to understand here to clearly understand the cooperative society. तो उसमें सबसे पहले we have, see here, as the auditor. So who is the auditor? Who will verify, who will check the audits of the cooperative society? So as per the rule number 69 under the Act of Cooperative Society, it is said that the term auditor includes a chartered accountant. It says the term auditor में कौन आते हैं? Auditor is required to verify the accounts of the cooperative societies. But who will be considered as the auditor? The auditor will be a chartered accountant or a person who holds a government diploma in cooperative accounts and audit. A person who holds a government diploma in cooperative accounts and audit, and a person who has served as an auditor in the cooperative department of the state government. That means the registered officers of the cooperative department. Cooperative department की अगर कोई आई एम सॉरी रिटायर्ड अगर कोई ऑफिसर है of the cooperative department, अगर कोई retired officer है who have served the cooperative department, even because they have experience of the uh, cooperative society, even they can be appointed as the auditor for the cooperative society. So cooperative society में किसको auditor appoint कर सकते हैं? या तो the person can be a chartered accountant, या तो a person may hold a government diploma in cooperative accounts and audit, or thirdly, even the retired officer of cooperative department, a person who has served as an auditor in the cooperative department of the state government can also be appointed as the auditor. The next one are the bylaws. Are you aware of the bylaws? Bylaws means in companies the substitute for articles of association. So bylaws are nothing but the articles of association similar to the articles of association in the companies. So these are the internal rules and regulations for the cooperative societies to function. So what is there in the bylaws? Normally in the bylaws, these bylaws of a see the bylaws may what is there in the bylaws? Bylaws will have the name and the address of the society, the area where the cooperative is operating, the limits in terms of the funds the society can raise, the objectives of the society, the maximum amount of share capital that can be held by each member, the terms and qualifications for admission of members in the cooperative, rights, duties, liabilities of the member, maximum loan that can be admissible to a member, disposal of the profit. All these informations are there in the bylaws, similar to the articles of association. So तुमको इतना समझना है, bylaws are similar to the articles of association. I assume you all are aware of the articles of association, but in cooperative societies, in place of articles, we have bylaws. In place of articles, we have bylaws. So next term which we will discuss after the bylaws, I hope everything is clear till now. The next term what we will discuss is the cooperative year, means when to finalize the accounts, when to prepare the final accounts, when will we decide about the profits made by the cooperative society. So normally it has been fixed as 31st day of March as the day of balancing the accounts of the society. So what is it decided? No, it is fixed as 31st March. The cooperative year when the balancing of the accounts of the society is done is fixed as 31st of March. Is fixed as 31st of March. But if it can all for the purpose uh, a prior approval of the registrar has to be taken, and it is not necessary to be 1st April to 31st March. It can be followed as a but the prior permission. However, any other day also can be fixed for the society for the purpose of balancing the accounts, but it has to be with the prior approval of the registrar. Means we'll have to take the approval of the registrar before changing to any other day apart from 31st March. A permission approval has to be taken from the registrar, but normally 31st March is only taken as the cooperative year to finalize the accounts, because then it properly confirms with the income tax act, तो वो easy हो जाता है. तो normally it is taken as 31st March, but if any other day has to be taken, that also can be done, but the approval has to be taken from the prior approval has to be taken from the registrar of cooperative societies. So with this, what is the next thing we have to discuss? It is members. Now who are the members? Members means a person joining in an application for the registration of a cooperative society. The members of the cooperative society, when the cooperative society is registered, see, which is subsequently when a person is joining in an application for a registration of a cooperative society, which is subsequently registered, or a person, see, it is a person admitted to a membership. 1 minute. Thank you. See, it is a person who is the member, who is similar to the shareholder, the member of the cooperative society. So this member is categorized into three categories. It can be an associate member, it can be a nominal member, it can be an active member. Now the associate member is who? The associate member means a member who holds jointly a share of the society with others, but whose name does not stand first in the share certificate. Means the second, the joint, the co-member in the shares of the cooperative society is called as a associate member. Means if I and my suppose sister has jointly purchased the shares of a cooperative society, or suppose we have a house in together, we are jointly owning a house together, but I my sister has the second name, so in the share certificate she becomes an associate member. We jointly own the home. So see, when you are purchasing a home in a cooperative housing society, so and you are a joint member, suppose a husband and a wife, we can take an example of a husband and a wife who has purchased the house in a cooperative housing society, and then they are joint owners. So when they are joint owners, there will be a first owner and a second owner. So associate owner is a second member who is owning the shares of the cooperative society. So is known as a associate member. Then there are nominal member. Nominal member means a person admitted to membership as such after registration in accordance with its laws. Means after the registration of the society, the members are who are the members formed are known as the nominal members. And then we have active members. Active member is a member who participates in the affairs of the society and utilizes the minimum level of services or products of that society as may be specified in the bylaws. So, the active member is a member who properly adheres to the rules and regulation and who is very active in the activities of the society, who participates in the affairs of the society regularly, is the active member. So after the members, we have the general body. Now what is a general body? So, what is the general body with context to cooperative society? So, the general body of a cooperative society is described as the final authority. So, the general body is the final authority who is subject to like have the important powers like these is the final authority who can take the decision relating to any like amendment in the bylaws of the society, amalgamation of one society with other, transfer of assets and liability of one society to another society, adoption of accounts, appropriation of profits, sanctioning of the writing off of bad debts, losses. So, all these important decisions can be taken by the general body. This general body is the final authority in the cooperative society. So, general body is the final authority in the cooperative society. After general body, there is one more committee known as the managing committee. So, what is this managing committee? Even though the general body is the final authority of the society, but the day to day affairs of the cooperative society is managed by the managing committee. So, the managing committee will take the decisions relating to the day to day affairs of the society. So, for the day to day affairs of the society, a managing committee is formed which will be looking after to the activities, day to day affairs of the society. So, these are some of the terms which had to be explained to understand the cooperative society in a better way. Now, let us see what we will be doing in this chapter. Wo- Here in this chapter, there are three varieties, as I told you. Cooperative housing society, which you all have done in your third year. Cooperative housing society में हम income expenditure account prepare करते. See, income and expenditure account is prepared because cooperative societies uh, primary objective is not to earn profit, it is to provide service. So those service giving uh, associations, organizations prepare income and expenditure account. So, what is prepared income and expenditure account instead of trading P&L account? What we will be preparing is income and expenditure account and balance sheet and memorandum appropriation account. See, this memorandum appropriation account we have to prepare after every question. If there is a profit, that is if there is a surplus in income and expenditure account, we call the profit as surplus. We don't call it as profit, we don't call it as net profit, because net profit तो हम P&L account, trading P&L account में profit को बोलते हैं. Here in the income and expenditure account, the profit is referred as surplus. प्रॉफिट को हम क्या बोलेंगे? सरप्लस. अगर सरप्लस रहेगा तो हमें मेमोरेंडम अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट प्रिपेयर करना पड़ेगा. एंड मेमोरेंडम अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट में 25% of the surplus has to be transferred to the reserve fund, to the statutory fund. So the cooperative societies has to transfer 25% of their profits to the statutory fund, to the reserve fund, or any other appropriations, distribution of the surplus. If it is told in the question, we have to do it, we have to transfer the amount to that account as told in the question. Now, one twist is there. जब तक अप्रोप्रिएशन जनरल बॉडी मीटिंग में अप्रूव नहीं होता, सी एज आई टोल्ड यू द फाइनल अथॉरिटी टू अप्रूव एवरीथिंग इज द जनरल बॉडी. तो अगर जनरल बॉडी में ये अप्रोप्रिएशन सैंक्शन नहीं हुआ, अगर जनरल बॉडी में अगर क्वेश्चन में बोला है द अप्रोप्रिएशंस आर सैंक्शनड, एक्सेप्टेड इन बाय द जनरल बॉडी, तो ही हम क्या करेंगे, इस अप्रोप्रिएशन को दूसरा इफेक्ट देंगे इन द बैलेंस शीट. मतलब क्या, 25% सरप्लस ट्रांसफर हुआ है रिजर्व फंड में. So we have to show it in the balance sheet, the second effect. But that second effect will be given only when the general body has sanctioned the appropriations. If the general body has not sanctioned the appropriation, we cannot give the second effect. So इसके लिए लेकिन मेमोरेंडम अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट बना के रखना है. उसका सेकेंड इफेक्ट तभी देना है when the question states that the general body has sanctioned the appropriation. इसीलिए तो इसको हम मेमोरेंडम अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट बोलते हैं. वी आर preparing the appropriation but it has not yet been sanctioned. अगर sanction होगा तो it will be given in the question, then only we will be giving the second effect. So under cooperative housing society हम क्या कौन सा चीजें प्रिपेयर करेंगे. वी विल बी प्रिपेयरिंग इनकम एंड एक्सपेंडिचर अकाउंट, बैलेंस शीट and memorandum appropriation account. Now one more thing which is very important, the income and expenditure account and balance sheet has a format which we have to discuss. Abhi next after this we will be discussing the format of the income and expenditure account. Let us see. After housing society we have consumer cooperative society and credit cooperative society. दोनों का फॉर्मेट सेम ही है, इट इज सिमिलर ओनली. So ऊपर in the housing society we prepare income expenditure account, but consumer cooperative stores, consumer cooperative society, credit cooperative society, ये जो small business enter societies है, इनमें हम ट्रेडिंग एंड पीएनएल अकाउंट प्रिपेयर करते हैं. व्हाट डू वी प्रिपेयर, वी प्रिपेयर ट्रेडिंग एंड प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. तो ये इतना सिंपल है दिस वन. ये आपने ऊपर वाला पहले किया है इन योर टीवाई बीकॉम, बट दिस वन इज न्यू, बट इट इज वेरी इजी. यू विल फाइंड the consumer cooperative society is easier than your income and expenditure account, because in this हम trading and P&L account में specific format नहीं भी follow करेंगे. It is like you will find it like your 11th standard का final accounts. उतना आपको easy लगेगा when we will be doing the trading and profit and loss account. It is comparatively easier similar to इनकम एंड एक्सपेंडिचर अकाउंट. तो यहाँ पे हम in the consumer cooperative society we will be preparing the trading P&L account, balance sheet and memorandum appropriation account. And like I told you, जब तक general body से sanction नहीं होता we cannot give approval to the appropriations. उसका second effect नहीं दे सकते. And as I told you, 25% of the current year profit has to be transferred to the reserve, statutory reserve fund, but uska permission has to come from the general body. Uske baad hi we can give the second effect. That rule applies here also. So these are the things we will be doing in this chapter. After doing this much things, this chapter also will get over. Now with this slide PPT is done. Now what we will be doing is, now we will be discussing the format. Now we will be discussing the format that we will be doing in the next, today only, but in the next meeting.